You know Moe's is disgusting.
I don't care.
It's disgusting. If you're not gonna go to Chipotle or Qdoba, Moe's is disgusting. Don't order
Okay,
it.
my kid.
Don't order it. It's literally like fancy Taco Bell. All right, hey
My
everyone.
kid does it.
Welcome to the episode. As Erica's talking about getting some Moe's. I am Mark,
And America.
and welcome to episode 31 of the 504 podcast. If you're listening at this point, please make sure to give it a like and share it if you can. We're not. Well, they said the subscriptions don't work anymore, not like it used to. So it's the likes, it's the comments, and the little bell icon. So every time that we post a new episode, you can get it.
Nice. You want to get it.
Well, I hope you would like to get it. All right, so here are the topics. We'll be running them down quickly so you can determine where you want to fast forward to or where you want to stick with or listen to the whole thing. Floyd Mayweather is going to be fighting a YouTuber for how much money? They're talking
Lots
about
of money.
they're talking about canceling Snow White. Well, not Snow White. Snow White didn't have anything to do with it. But, men are under attack again. We'll get to that. The gas crisis that's about to be upon us. Fill up your tanks. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. The PS5 shortage. If you ain't got one, you ain't getting one. And the Golden Globes are canceled. Who watches the Golden Globes? Erica's going to tell us more. This is the 504 podcast. Mun, amazing to be recording with you again.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. we're only recording, no big deal. All right,
I know.
So I'll start off. Floyd Mayweather. So Floyd Mayweather, if you don't already know, is a boxer. That's his profession, a boxer. He's a professional boxer. He fights people professionally for years. Now, Floyd Mayweather's record is something that no other boxer has ever been able to accomplish, which is he's fought and has never lost. Now, it's not like he's always won because he's knocked people out, but he's won by decision. So people have been sort of criticizing Floyd Mayweather for cherry picking his fights. You ever heard the term cherry picking?
No. Well, I know. Yeah, I know what cherry picking is, but how does that apply to boxing?
So when it applies to boxing is because boxers have the ability to select who they want to fight.
Okay.
So in his case, he's only selecting people he knows he can beat in order to keep his record undefeated. So I heard he fought like some 16-year-old Chinese boy. He fought Conor McGregor. And I don't know if his record is the main thing at this point. I really think it's a money thing. So he did an interview recently when he was saying, talking about retirement. He goes, listen, I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman because everybody's a businessman. I'm a businessman and no amount of money can ever come in between, my mental health and my livelihood. But if you're going to pay me $100 million to fight a YouTuber, $100 mil, I'm going to take that money. So
Is that how much?
$100 million to fight.
Wait, who's the YouTuber? I'm sorry. Maybe
Jake
you said
Paul.
that before when I was just... Oh,
Jake-
yes, we talked about him.
Yeah,
last time.
Jake
Yes.
Paul, who recently knocked the Cowboy Bebop out of some other guy.
Oh.
So he's having a stellar moment. See, here's my issue with this. Jake Paul should not be on a level where you can challenge arguably one of the best boxers that has ever boxed. Now, I don't think, Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer to ever box, but he's arguably one of the best to ever do it because of his record. And because of his skill, because he has all the perfect things that a boxer would have. But I don't know if everybody would list him as the best boxer ever, even though he's the only boxer who's never lost.
Who would be the best boxer ever?
It all depends on who you ask. Some people give it to Muhammad Ali. Some people give it to Sugar Ray Robinson. Some people might throw Mike Tyson up there. It's a bunch of names that come up because it's more of like a heavyweight world. And they'll give it to a heavyweight before they give it to like a featherweight or a lightweight and such. Like heavyweight was the the epitome of boxing at one point. And Floyd's fights are just boring. He's a boxer. He's not a fighter. And a lot of those guys were boxers and fighters. Like, they can box, but they can also knock you out. But this is not a sports podcast, so I just wanted your thoughts on getting $100 million, whether you win or lose.
He's getting $100 million, but it's not about the money.
Well, he said it's about the money at this point. He said, if you're going to pay me $100 million and it's to fight somebody who makes YouTube videos for a living, I'm going to take it. He and his brother actually fight now.
Oh, so I guess that might be a good fight to want to watch.
Maybe. So Triller is a company who actually shows these fights. It's a company called Triller. And one of their main things they have is they're not like this commercial boxing thing. Like, so if you box at HBO or like Showtime Boxing, or if you do like network boxing, they normally don't curse. Like, the announcers don't curse. They try to keep it professional, like a sports program would be. But one of the announcers for Triller is actually Snoop Dogg. And he's on there cursing and having a great time.
Oh, interesting.
So I wonder if that's going to be the future of boxing. But the reason why I brought up Triller is because they are actually pressing charges against anyone who pirated Logan Paul's last fight.
What does that mean, pirated?
Meaning you hosted it so that other people can watch it. So sometimes you can stream it, and then you stream it on like YouTube, and then people can watch it on YouTube. So if you didn't pay for the fight, you can watch it. So apparently they're going after every person who did this, but they're giving them an out early. They said, listen, if you just pay the $50, we'll drop the lawsuit. If not, we can charge you.
It's costing these girls?
Well, that's what the pay-per-view was, $50. And if you don't pay it, they can go up to $150,000 for the piracy laws.
Oh.
So people have an option. I can either pay the $50, or I could take my chances and have to pay $150,000.
Oh, wow.
All right, next topic, Mun. Let's move off to Floyd Mayweather. Oh, by the way, did you see the video before I get off Floyd Mayweather where he and Jake Paul met up and Jake Paul snatches his hat off?
No.
And he goes,
Why
got your cat. Got your cat. It was the most annoying thing somebody could do. It's like when somebody, like, you have a hat on and somebody, like a girl, just like takes your hat, and that's like you're annoyed. Now it's like, yo, give me my hat.
Yeah.
You have to see the video. They're standing there, and all of a sudden Jake Paul just snatches off his hat and goes, I got your cat. And he tries to run off with the hat. And then he got it tattooed on his leg.
What, the hat?
Got your cat. He got the words "got your cap" tattooed on his leg, and the hat emoji that you have on the iPhone.
Oh my goodness!
As he's sitting there eating an ice cream sandwich.
Is he trying to like get him angry, Floyd Mayweather? No,
he's promoting the fight and he's looking for moments. This is a moment here. That video was watched over 1 million times, and it's literally him snatching Floyd Mayweather's hat off. And then Floyd Mayweather turned into memes because Floyd Mayweather looked terrible in the video. I'm gonna find this to you.
What is this guy
getting?
To you. How much is he getting paid?
Who knows? I don't think he's gonna get paid as much as Floyd, but he's gonna get it. But he's gonna get a good payday.
So go back to the old school ways of boxing. Like Mike Tyson, biting off people's ears.
Oh man, I remember watching that.
When back to the old school ways of boxing too, like it started to get old when after like round one, it's over. You pay this money to watch it. You're all souped up. You got your friends over. You expect more than like 5 or 6 rounds, and it's over in 1 or 2.
But see, that's the excitement with those fights. Those fights were exciting because it's like you can't miss a moment of it. It's like, ooh, Mike might knock him out in the first round. You got to be there. Get your popcorn ready. But we're on Floyd Mayweather way too long. Okay. Snow White and this attack on men. So apparently I ran across an article about a week ago about the canceling of the prince from Snow White because he did not get her consent to kiss her.
Well, I thought it was just like one of the rides in Disney.
Well, yeah, they want to cancel the ride. They want to cancel the ride in Disney because of the unconsenting kiss. So he should have just let her die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please let her die. Like she's dead, but she has her self-respect.
Just let her die.
Just let her die, let her die, let her shrivel up and die. If you don't know that reference, that's from what is the Dr. Seuss movie when the trees? The Lorax. The Lorax. It's the Lorax.
But is this Disney coming up with it or people putting pressure on Disney?
It's just people who have issues with everything. They really have issues with everything. I promise you, it's gonna be now in the new movies. Why does the prince have to save her?
Because then a lot of Disney movies should be canceled because there's a lot of cryptic messages.
Did you see the one cryptic message they allegedly in the Aladdin when it's a scene when he's up there in her palace, you know, he comes over uninvited on his little magic carpet. Ooh, get him. And he goes, "Good girls, take their clothes off."
No, I didn't hear that one.
That's what he said allegedly. Or in The Lion King when Simba is an adult and he pushes down on the ground and the leaves come up and it spells sex for a moment. Yeah, or the penis in the Little Mermaid castle.
So everything could be canceled. Just cancel. Just shut down Disney.
Well, Donald Glover, who is also known as Childish Gambino, he had a quote that I saw not too long ago. He was saying, you know, we're getting a lot of ordinary, mediocre stuff because people are afraid of being canceled. And nobody's trying to experiment. Nobody's thinking outside the box. We just want to give what's ordinary. Speaking of ordinary, the show This Is Us, what happened? I was getting ready to crown it as one of the best TV shows I've ever watched. And I am watching them make this black man into the most meager and sensitive man I have ever watched in my life. One thing I always liked about Randall was that he was strong. He was efficient. He did the right thing. Now all of a sudden he's, oh, you guys didn't notice racial things when I was a kid. What? The dog, when I met you, you were driving around in a $150,000 Mercedes Benz. Okay, get it. You had the mental breakdown and you quit your job, whatever. And I get it. You didn't know your parents. You didn't have I get it. But come on, man.
They should have canceled that season after we found out how Jack died.
Well, I even though I like Jack, it's okay, Jack's dead. Why do I see Jack every episode?
Yeah, it's getting old. I haven't watched it in a few seasons.
It's even the successful people are just so jacked up. I haven't seen Kate eat one time, and she's as big as ever. Not one time the whole show. Not a hot dog, not a glass of wine, nothing. Oh my goodness. If you haven't seen it already, go watch This Is Us. The first few seasons, not the season that's on TV now. This is terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. Stop it.
All right, let's move on. I'm not gonna move on to something. I'm not gonna move on to the next one I was gonna say. I'm gonna skip past it and come back to it later. PlayStation 5. Attention parents, if you have not gotten yourself a PlayStation 5, there's going to be a shortage until 2022. Why? They are not meeting demands. I heard that it was because they don't have the computer chips that they need in order to make them. And those computer chips and the technology that come from the computer chips are located in Africa. And they have, I don't know. They just don't have the supply to meet it. So if you catch one online for $500 or $600, get it.
Is it that good?
I mean, there are no real games out for it, but people want it. Remember, it was the it thing? The PlayStation 5 was like the Birkin bag for men. Did you get a PlayStation 5? Ooh, yeah, I got one. If you're still there, make sure you hit a like right now. Couple jokes already in there. You hit a like for me.
That's crazy. $500.
Well, I'm waiting for the black one to come out. Right now it's white and it looks like a router for TV or for a computer. It looks terrible. So that's why I haven't gotten one yet. All right,
2020.
moving forward. We got about 15 minutes left to get you out of here. We might get you out of here a little faster. All right, Mun. Golden Globes. Canceled. Tom Cruise. Giving back his Golden Globes. Tell us more.
Oh, I had it before. So the organization, the HFPA, which stands for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, apparently it's this group that's comprised of various people. I guess they do the voting for the Golden Globes. I'm not sure, but apparently last year they were called to the carpet.
Wait a minute. Golden Globes, is that movies or music?
Movies.
Movies. And there's no music involved. It's only movies.
No, it's all movies.
Is there one that does movies and music? Is that the Oscars? Or am I just confusing? I haven't watched an award show in a very long time.
I'm not sure. Oscars might be different as far as like a different union.
You know what? Yeah, because I'm confusing Oscars and the Grammys. That's what I'm confusing.
The Grammys are music, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So apparently, a year ago, they were called to the carpet on not being racially diversified. So they've had a year to work on this, and nothing's changed. So Netflix, Amazon, Warner Media, they're all breaking ties with the organization because the organization does not have a single Black member that's on the committee. So all these actors are now pulling out of the Golden Globes. Some are giving back their Golden Globe Awards. And NBC has decided not to air the Golden Globes.
Do they give you a list of who are the people who get to vote on these things?
You mean like who's part of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association?
Yeah, like who are the people who get like a say in whether or not these movies get nominated?
It's this committee. They're the committee that does it, I guess. But
no, I know there's a committee, but like, do they give you a list of people who are on the committee, or is it like done behind closed doors?
I'm sure you can find out who's on the committee. But again, it's all a part of that nepotism, you know. Like I'll vote for you, and you know you'll win. It's not genuine. It's probably who lined the pockets of the committee the most, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's how it is in music.
Who had the most money.
Joe Budden complains about that all the time.
So it's an 87-member group made up of critics for overseas media outlets, and the problem is that they don't have any Black members. So
well, how long haven't they had Black members? That they had one and like he died, or they've never had a Black person.
Never.
Ooh.
Never. So they were supposed to work on that last year, but apparently, you know, it's coming up and they haven't done it. So now all these media outlets are pulling out of it.
So is it movies and TV shows, or is it just movies?
It's all just movies. Just
all movies.
Yeah.
Well, then again, I didn't know the Golden Globes were what they even were. So
it's actually the 2022 Golden Globes. So it would be they usually air in January. So it's all, you know, they get to vote on who wins.
But then whoever, like, I always hear Grammy nominated, Oscar nominated. Nobody ever walked in and said, "Yo, check out them Golden Globes over there. The Golden Globes is popping."
I don't know if the Golden Globes are as popular as the Oscars. The Oscars are run by the SAG, the something Screen Actors Guild. That's the union for the actors.
I think that in order to be even considered to vote on these things, you should be someone who's done something. Like, you just can't be a critic and just be sitting around, "Oh yeah, I when I was 17, I did the play for Romeo and Juliet when I reenacted the part of the cousin who gets stabbed." Like, you should have either created or acted seriously in order to be a part of this. Because, like, for me, I can say I don't like a music album. Oh, I don't like the music album. But somebody else who's into music says, "Nah, you really don't know what went into this." there's a different appreciation for that stuff because you know what it is to create it, to make it from scratch, as opposed to someone else just like, oh, I just don't like it. It's not for me.
Well, isn't that how it is in every all sectors? I mean, look at us. You know, we have people making decisions for us for what we do, and not one of them spent time in a classroom or hasn't been there for years.
Well, but even with that, they haven't been for years. I think something should be put in place where you should be like rotated in to kind of just, you know, fill the needs of the people again. Because I think every year that you're out, you're kind of just like really like far removed from it. So there should be like some sort of rotating schedule. Like as I get further removed from it, there should be something that puts me closer to it. But then again, I guess that's professional development and different things like that, and meeting the needs of your teachers. What can they do?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Now that, you know, we've spent time in lockdown and everything else, are people interested really? I mean, you know, watching all these famous people get up on stage and get their awards while we're sitting here having, you know, suffering through unemployment, you know, lockdown.
Who's suffering through unemployment? They giving it out, baby.
Well, I mean, you know,
giving
there's
it
that
out.
Are unemployed that aren't getting unemployment.
Oh, I saw something. Speaking of unemployment, I saw a story of a McDonald's. I can't remember what state it's in. I believe it's in Florida. That is, it's a lot of places that are just missing employees. Like they don't have people that are coming to work. So the sign says they're doing interviews Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. And if you interview, you get $50. They are paying people to interview.
That's crazy.
Is it though? Like, I forgot who I was telling this to, but I was saying, you know, it's really hard to give the homeless guy, because when I get off on the, on my turnpike exit, there's a guy. He's there every day, walking back and forth, asking for money. But right next to him is a sign that says UPS is hiring, $17 an hour. And I keep looking like, you'd rather do this? But then I get it. There was a whole thing, well, what if he doesn't have an address? I'll make an address up. What do they need the address for? To send my check? No, I'll get my check from Steve in HR. What do I need an address for?
Maybe, who knows? Maybe he's not equipped to be going on an interview.
Listen, man.
Like, you know.
For $17 an hour, I'll sweep up hair. I'll break down boxes. I'm gonna do something for that money. I'm not gonna be out here just, you know, walking back and forth with a cup. That's not the vibe.
More money in a day.
That's not the vibe. I'd rather rely on what I can rely on, because if you can walk back and like he has to walk that thing about like 300 times. If you can walk that thing about 300 times, what job can't you do at UPS? And he might have that crackhead strength.
Yeah.
So he can lift a bunch of boxes. Give it a like. Press the like button right now. Press that like button right now. All right, Mun.
UPS isn't a bad job to have.
Listen, UPS is hiring. Amazon is hiring. What's the other places? What's the other the factory place? UPS, Amazon,
Box.
FedEx. Shoot, if you have a car, you can deliver Uber Eats and DoorDash. But moving on, Caitlyn Jenner says that trans girls should not compete with biological girls in sports. I don't know. I don't want to touch it. I
can.
Okay, no, I'll say this. When the boys and girls are in grammar school, I think they're relatively about the same.
Yeah.
I think girls might have hit like a growth spurt.
Yeah.
Probably a little faster than the boys do in grammar school. But I think somewhere around the high school and college mark, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And boys biologically and girls biologically. And I want to try to word this as nicely as I can. I don't want trans girls to be eliminated from competing in sports, because they should be able to compete in sports. But I don't think they should be able to compete in sports that they have a biological advantage over someone.
So you think they should be competing against the men?
See, but then it's weird because now you're dressed,
co-ed.
but then now you're dressed differently, and it's the whole thing about how you feel and such like that. But I don't know if I want to see a 19 or 18-year-old trans girl wrestling a girl of the same age. This person is biologically stronger. It's science.
Well, then that person would have to be put into a category where they're going to be wrestling someone of their own strength.
But that no category is going to exist. No category is going to exist. I had a conversation with my
Fight Ronda Rousey.
But Ronda Rousey got beat by another girl.
I know.
She got beat by a girl. See, Ronda Rousey wasn't ever that good. I watched her fight. What Ronda Rousey really relied on was she would just be aggressive. She would be overly aggressive, and the person who beat her was, all right, I realize you're going to be overly aggressive, and I'm going to take my shots wisely. She rushed in, popped a good one, and she dropped. I was talking to my brother-in-law, over the summer, and we were talking about this, and we were saying, there are biological differences between men and women. He's like, no, it's all equal. And my father-in-law, we both looked at him no. Can you imagine putting Alex Rodriguez, let's say Alex Rodriguez decided, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I identify as a woman. And he decides, I want to go play softball. He'll be cranking those things out the park like it's nobody's business.
I don't know. Softball's a little different than baseball.
Well, I know it's different. I know, and that was his thinking. It's different. It's a different sport. It's different. And I'm like, okay, so then take the best girl athlete who's in softball and let her transition to men's baseball.
But there are women, I mean, maybe not on that level, on ML, the major league level, but, there are women who can play on college sports teams, baseball, or, even football.
Yeah, I think there are exceptional women. Don't get me wrong. I think that there are some women that are exceptional who can possibly beat men. I just don't think that the best woman will ever beat the best man that's on the top of their game. I don't think it'll ever be a comparison. You can give me the best NBA player. I mean, the best WNBA player right now. And it doesn't matter if LeBron was 18 or today, she would never beat him.
Oh, wow.
He's just that good.
Has Caitlyn Jenner received any backlash for that?
I don't know. And I think she's the perfect person to have this conversation because she was an athlete.
Former athlete.
Yeah, former athlete. So she knows what it consists of. I think that she would be the best person to determine that.
Yeah, I think what's our next topic?
Ooh, we're back. Didn't even know we had to do a cut. All right, last topic. Well, I was going to talk about HBO Max, but let's not do that. Gas crisis. Mun, what do we need to know about the gas crisis?
I'm sure. Go fill your gas tanks and go buy some extra gas tanks, like 20 more, and fill them up. Who knows with this cyber attack? But apparently it's the whole East Coast.
So apparently, ladies and gentlemen, there was a cyber attack that was allegedly initiated by Russia, and they're shutting down the Colonial pipeline network. So here is the article that Erica sent me from Ace Duran Hauling and Rigging. Ooh, look at me not learning how to read. Hauling and Rigging. Fueling strategy update. If you're within the fuel service area of the Colonial pipeline today, please make sure you're full of fuel or in a position to top out as soon as possible. Do not be surprised if truck stops place maximum gallons to 50 gallons during the shutdown of the Colonial pipeline. If you're dispatched towards the Colonial service, it's very important to be full of fuel. Heading in to assure you have enough fuel to get out. The next couple of days will tell us the severity of the hack. So I guess we'll know. So this pipeline goes from Texas all the way through to New Jersey. So Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland. It doesn't show Delaware. New Jersey are all going to be affected by this.
Yeah, and right now, North Carolina, they said they're lining up. They can't get gas. Florida, Panhandle is out of gas. So apparently the cyber attack has, like, turned it off completely. Like, they can't get it back up and running.
Man, if they don't get a crackhead with a straw, give it a like, give it a like, give it a like.
So then I was also reading that the next thing is going to be attack on the electric grid. So I don't know. Is this a cover up for the Biden gas hikes? Is this a cover up for something else? What is going on? This is just, I don't know. It's just all too surreal. It's all too Handmaid's Tale-ish.
I just don't understand. What would be the benefit of them shutting down the gas pipeline? Russia shutting it down. It's not like we got like a bunch of tanks like rolling around I-95 in case they invade.
I don't know exactly. Like, is it are they deflecting from something else? I don't know.
Maybe they want to keep us in the house again.
This is what worries me. And then, of course, you got the conspiracy theorists all over social media, like, oh, these are all the states that are opening up 100%. Like, this is to shut you back down again. I don't know.
Take you down a couple notches.
It's crazy. And I don't know. I mean, fill up your tanks.
Yeah, I may go buy me a couple little red tanks, fill them up just to have it for an emergency.
I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, during Hurricane Sandy, to get gas it was like a day out.
Well, I know one thing. Ain't no gas. I'm working from home. And you can run and tell that, homeboy.
I don't think we'll have a choice.
Well,
I don't know.
Scary. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. All right, Mun, we're done. Got him out of here in about 32 minutes. Short episode, a little quickie, short and sweet. You know what I'm going to ask you now, right?
Go ahead.
Do you have any last words?
I don't.
She has no last words, so I will give you the last words. Make sure you like. If you're into subscribing, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave plenty of comments. I respond. Share. Check out our past episodes. You can click the link that I'm going to be putting down there somewhere. There'll be a little box. That's what the cool people do. And continue to support the 504 podcast. If you have a small business you want to promote, get in contact with us at the 504podcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Instagram or Facebook. A lot of scammers out there, man. Some guy was like, "Oh, I want you to try my ball clippers."
I saw that.
And I was like, "All right, yeah, let's do it. I'll do the promotion for the ball clippers." He's like, "Yeah, you got to buy it for $50." I said, "What?"
Yeah, you got to buy it. And then you have to give a review. No, thank you.
Yeah, I saw that. I said, "Oh, you almost got me." And now all these pages are popping up that they're podcast promoters. I promote my podcast.
Oh.
I'm going to pay you for it. Oh, we are looking to hire someone for free $99 a year or free $99 an hour. We're looking for somebody to kind of cut the podcast up, cut it into clips. If you want to be a part of our small business, our glow up, our blow up, make sure you message me. See what we can do out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. I'm Mark.
And I'm Erica.
And this was the 504 Podcast. See you next time.
Bye.